All right, and joining us now via Skype, guys, live on After the Dead. You saw her as Frankie in tonight's episode. Elyse DuFour is here, and we couldn't be more excited. Thank you so much for joining us, Elyse.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, you have been on a lot of really cool shows. I mean, Sleepy Hollow, Constantine, both under your belt. But how does the zombie apocalypse stack up? That's where we have to start. Were you a fan of this show before landing the role of Frankie?
Absolutely. I wasn't a fan when it first started airing, but I think around season 5, I binge watched the entire series in about a week. No, that's impossible. In about 2 weeks.
That's
And
still
then I
pretty
loved
impressive.
it, and it was like my goal show
That
after
is
that.
that is so cool. That is a major check off the bucket list. Congratulations. But when you're on set, like this must be different from anything else because when you're on set, do you just end up next to a walker like at the craft services line and it's just like, oh, a zombie? Does that ever happen?
I actually have never seen a walker.
Oh, okay, okay, that's right. You're
Kind of a
you're all
letdown, but I've never
well.
seen.
Well, you're held up with Negan in the Sanctuary, which is pretty cool stuff. I know a lot of people would be pretty jealous. But in tonight's episode, your scenes were with Josh McDermott, who has to talk like a really certain way, and as a viewer, it's hilarious. Some of the things he
Yeah.
says and the way he talks, like this mullet guy, the southern twang. I wonder, what's that like on set? Do you guys, like, the scenes were very serious, but do you guys ever just bust out laughing? Because I know Josh can be a pretty funny guy.
Honestly, he was so incredible. I don't know if some other actor played Eugene, it wouldn't be the same. I mean, he was like he helped me through every step of the way and was so amazing. I mean, at lunch we had a blast, but really on set while we were shooting, it goes so quickly and you don't have a lot of time. I mean, as soon as you're done with one take, you're starting another one.
Wow.
So you don't have a lot of time to really joke around, but at lunch and in between setups he was really helpful because I was pretty nervous and Chloe, who plays Tanya, who's another wife, was pretty nervous as well, so he was making jokes with us. And Josh is a total sweetheart, and he's definitely my favorite, definitely the one that I spent the most time with on
That's really
set, but
cool.
he was amazing.
That's awesome. But you've also, in tonight's scenes, which kind of had some humor to them at points, but you've been a part of some really terrifying scenes too, like when Mark got his face burnt back, what was that, episode
Yeah.
707? Like, how do the days compare on set? Like, what is
Yeah.
that like for you as an actress to have to be part of something so brutal?
It was, I mean, it was kind of funny because coming onto the show, I was told that I got the part and that it was a recurring role. And then I got the script, and in 707, I didn't have any lines, so I didn't know really what was going to happen. Um, and then with Mark's face, going through rehearsal with that for him was brutal, and he was sweating and crying and just he really he did an awesome job. That guy, they flew him out from LA just for that.
Wow,
And yeah,
that's pretty cool.
but it was
That's
definitely,
pretty cool.
it's really hot in that on that set where the Saviors are. So it's very hot, and there's a lot of people, and with they have a real fire going. That whole furnace thing is all real. So we have this real huge fire going, and we're all sweating. And then um, Jeffrey Dean Morgan Negan has to do these huge monologues over and over and over again, and it's just it's incredible. It really 707, the first episode that I was involved with, was incredible to watch, and I was really lucky to get to be there and see it before I really had anything to say
Right.
or do in the show.
Is Jeffrey as scary in person as he is as Negan?
No, I do have a funny little. The first time that I met Jeff, we were both in the hair and makeup trailer, and they had put me on the call sheet as Elyse Nicole Dufour, and I always thought that three names kind of seemed a little bit like, I don't know, like grandiose or something. Like I felt like it was silly because I haven't done much. So to have three names, I feel like that's someone like Meryl Streep could have three names. And I walk in and sit down next to him, and he's like, "So you're Elyse DuFour. And I said, oh yeah, I didn't tell them to put three names. They just did that. I know it seems so like silly and dumb. And then he looks at me like, uh-huh, okay. And then I look at my set sheet and it's Jeffrey Dean Morgan and I'm like, oh, okay. Sorry,
Whoops.
sorry. Good start.
No, actually, three
But
names are super cool, I swear. Uh, but have you? I'm wondering now, in terms of your character, this is something that doesn't exist in the comics, so I don't know where you can pull from. I'm sure Scott Gimple helps you out sometimes, but have you developed a backstory for Frankie? Because clearly she hates Negan so much that she wants to poison him. But where does this all come from? Where do you get that from?
I think that she has seen him do so many horrible things that, and especially with this kind of sisterhood that the wives have, they're all really important to each other. And they've seen Negan has hurt every one of them in one way or another.
Mm.
So for them to kind of band together and try to get Negan, I think Frankie's kind of the more bold of Amber and Tanya and Frankie, the three wives that were in this episode. Um, I don't know much of a backstory, but as far as that goes, I think yeah, I think she's just seen him do some terrible things, as we all
Right.
have as
Yeah.
fans. He's killed characters that we love so much. So it, she's seen
R.I.P.
him do
Glenn.
some crazy stuff.
Yeah. What do you think Negan would do if he found out? Like, if he found out that you and Chloe and everybody, you guys were trying to come up with this plan to kill him, you think he would be a little forgiving because you are the wives, or you think he's just might meet Lucille?
I don't know. I've actually thought about this a lot because I don't know what's going to happen with our characters. So I've thought about, is he going to find out what's going to happen to us if he does find out?
Right.
And I hope it's nothing too bad, but I would imagine that we would definitely be harshly punished.
Yeah.
Maybe well, burning seems to be a specific punishment for a very certain, specific thing. So I don't know what he would do to us.
Yeah,
Maybe
burning the
lock us up.
wives seems also kind of
Daryl.
counterproductive because he likes his wives super hot, right? Doesn't he? He does the whole lean back thing.
Yeah.
Burning them doesn't seem like it
Yeah,
would
yeah,
do,
you're
too
right.
much for him.
Absolutely.
But so now, before I let you go, I have one more question. Eugene totally rejects the plan. Is there a round two, you think? Do the wives have a backup plan, or do you think they just try to convince Eugene, or what do you think is next for Frankie and the gang?
I hope that they have a backup plan. I think that, or at least I hope that there will be a little more development, relationship development, not romantic, but or maybe romantic, I don't know,
Okay.
between Eugene and Frankie. I think that they're definitely at odds with each other in this episode, and she thinks she's coy and she thinks that she's tricked him, and it's Eugene. She hasn't tricked him. So I don't know. I hope that we get to see that relationship develop and it doesn't end the way that we see it end tonight.
A lot of things end poorly on this show. It's something we all have learned to deal with. So I'm hoping for you, but happy endings are hard to come by in the world of The Walking Dead.
Yeah,
Well, thank you, Elyse.
absolutely. They definitely are. But my fingers are crossed.
We'll all cross our fingers here too. But thank you so much for joining us on After the Dead. This was a blast, and I loved your portrayal on the show tonight. I thought it was fantastic, and congratulations, because I'm sure this is really exciting for you too.
Thank you so much for having me. This was awesome.
Thank you.